This scholarship will pay for your tuition, your living expenses, provide you with a furnished accommodation, and even pay for your travel costs. But before we get into it, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, and comment to help support my channel. Let's get started. Today, we are going to talk about the SBW Berlin Scholarship for International Students, and it says that the SBW Berlin Scholarship for International Students supports talented young people from abroad who have already shown social commitment and who use the skills they have acquired during and after their studies in social projects at a non-profit/social organization in their home countries. So this scholarship is for international students who are involved in and committed to social causes or non-profit organizations in their home countries. Now, before we check the target group for the scholarship, let's check the benefits. It says that for the duration of the scholarship, maximum funding period is equivalent to the regular period of the study program. SBW Berlin covers necessary living expenses of the scholarship recipients. The scholarship includes a furnished room in shared student flats. So you're going to get a room that is already furnished as part of your scholarship. Then you're going to get cost of living allowance, currently in the amount of 480 euros per month. The next one is your tuition fee. So you're going to get an monthly allowance of 480 euros. Normally, they will give you more so you can pay for your room, but because they are already giving you a room, you are receiving your monthly allowance as 480 euros per month. Then the next one is the tuition fees is covered. Then the last one is possibly also a travel contribution for the journey to Berlin before the start of the course of study and for the journey home after successful completion of the course. First payments can only be made after the scholarship recipient has moved into the shared student apartment. So this is what you're going to get if you're able to secure the SBW Berlin Scholarship. Now let's go down here and check the target group for this scholarship. The first group is foreign nationals whose countries of origin appear to be in particular need of support in their development. And it says see guidelines. You are going to check that in a minute. And the second one is holders of a student visa or residence permit for the purpose of taking up or pursuing studies. Then the next thing is requirements for the SBW Berlin Scholarship. The first requirement is you should be between the ages of 18 and 30 before you can apply to the scholarship. Then the second requirement is that you should have professional or volunteer experience in non-profit or social sector. This can be supported by letters of recommendation from your social institution or your non-profit organization. Then you should be somebody who has not resided in Germany for more than 18 months prior to this application. The next one is you should have a university entrance qualification. That can be your secondary school certificate or a bachelor's degree certificate, because this scholarship is for both bachelor's degree and then master's degree applicants. Then the next one is you should have the intention to work for at least 18 months in the country of origin after graduation. Then we have you should have proven relatively low net income. So you should prove to them that you have a really low net income, so you are in need of this scholarship. And we are going to see that in the guidelines. The next thing is average grade equivalent to a German grade point average of at least 2.0. Then we have no first degree family members permanently residing in Germany. Then the last one is application before the start of studies or fully enrolled in the first, second, or maximum third semester at a state-recognized university, or application for a master's degree shortly before or after obtaining a bachelor's degree. These are the requirements for applying to the scholarship. So if you know you can meet these requirements, it means you can start your application. Now, when we come down here, it also says interested applicants should note that an application for a place at a university or University of Applied Sciences in Berlin or Potsdam is required. This is done separately to the scholarship application. That is, applicants are responsible for this themselves. Applying to this scholarship, and applying for admission to a university in Berlin or Potsdam are two different applications. You have to apply to a university in Berlin or Potsdam first, then you can apply to this scholarship. It says here that this is done separately to the scholarship application. That is, applicants are responsible for this themselves. So you have to apply to your university yourself, and then you can make your application to the scholarship. Then the next one is expectation towards interested applicants. The first one is interest in social commitment and in the development of social projects. And this means that an applicant is expected to have interest in social causes or charitable work that improves the lives of others. Then the second one is collaboration, past and future, with a non-profit/social institution in the home country. So an applicant is expected to have worked with an NGO in the past and also have plans to do same in the future. Then the next one is good academic performance. Then we have continuing education plan after graduation. The next one is transparency and clear communication regarding professional goals. Then the last thing here is no financial support of family members or third parties through the scholarship program possible. Now let's check the guidelines for how to apply to the scholarship. So let's go up and then we're going to click on guidelines. Okay, so we've already read the objectives. So let's go here. We've also read the application requirements. So we are going to go down and check the deadlines and application documents. Now it says that SBW Berlin does not charge any application or processing fees. So application is free. And it says that there is no fixed application deadline. Applications are accepted all year round. So there is no deadline. You can apply at any time. All you need to do is apply to a university and you are good to go. You can just start your application at any time. When applying for the scholarship, proof of the applicant's social commitment in the form of a letter of recommendation from a non-profit organization or social institution is required. The non-profit organization or social institution submits the letter on behalf of the applicant as a PDF to this email. After carefully reviewing the letter, outstanding prospects will be granted access to the application form. So with this scholarship, before you can make your application, your organization or NGO that you are working with has to send a letter of recommendation on your behalf to this email. Now, when they receive the email, they are going to review it and make sure that you are fit to apply to the scholarship. So after reviewing it, if you pass whatever checks they do, they are going to send you a link so that you can access the application form and then start your application. Only complete applications can be considered. Applicants must submit at least the following documents. So we are going to get to the required documents for the application. The first one is letter of recommendation from a non-profit organization or social institution or one of SBW Berlin's partner organizations by email. So that's the email we talked about. Then it says application form. A link will be shared with outstanding applicants. Then we go down here and it says project description, 2 to 5 pages. So you have to add a description of a social project you want to pursue. For instance, you can say you want to establish a skills empowerment initiative for the youth in your home country to reduce unemployment, or you want to support education in underserved communities, anything like that. But you have to add a description of that project to your application. Then qualification for university entrance. The next one is information about the net household income. Then we have copy of the last school or university certificate that shows the grade point average and a grade overview. Then the next one is copy of the highest academic degree into brackets high school diploma or university certificate that shows the grade point average and a grade overview. Then it says, if available, copy of the following documents should also be included: admission to a university or University of Applied Sciences in Berlin or Potsdam, then internationally recognized language certificates for the language in which your studies will be in. So if your studies is going to be in English, they will need a language certificate for English. If it's going to be in German, they will need a language certificate for German. Then it says all already obtained university certificates and records of achievements, graded and ungraded. Then we have all previous work training, apprenticeship and internship certificates and references. So any work or training or apprenticeship you've been involved in, if you have the certificate and then references, you can get references for them. You can submit them, but you have to note that it says if you have it available. It's not compulsory to submit them, but if you have it available, it will boost your application. Then when we come down here, it says that we recommend to all applicants to submit the following additional documents, which are not mandatory. 1 or 2 letters of recommendation from professors, school teachers, employers, etc. And then it says evidence of the net household income. So these are also not mandatory. If you can get 1 or 2 letters of recommendation from these people, and you can get an evidence of the net household income. So an evidence could be a statement, a bank statement or something to enclose in your documents to let them know the net household income. That will help boost your application. The application and all enclosed certificates and supporting documents must be submitted in German or English. If the original documents are issued in another language, we also ask for a translation into German or English. Non-certified copies and simple translations are sufficient for the application. After the successful completion of the selection process, certified copies are sometimes required in the verification process. So if you are able to successfully complete the selection process, they are going to require certified copies, but that is when you've been able to pass the selection process. Now let's go down and check the selection criteria for the scholarship. In addition to a proven collaboration between the applicant and a non-profit or social organization located in the applicant's home country, the following criteria are decisive for the selection of incoming scholarship recipients. In need of assistance are all applicants who meet the requirements. The individual amount of funding will depend on the personal circumstances of each applicant. Then when we come down here, it says in need of assistance are also applicants whose total household income does not exceed the average income which has been officially stated for their home country. The income of all household members and all sources of income of the family and/or the applicant will be considered. Then the next one is eligible are all applicants whose intellectual abilities are substantiated by the application documents and during the interview justify the expectation that the applicant will easily meet the performance requirements of the funded studies and degree. Then the last one is worthy of assistance are all applicants whose personality and social commitment suggests that they will achieve the goals of the scholarship during and after their studies in cooperation with a non-profit organization or social institution in the home country of the scholarship recipient. In addition, the applicant's non-profit/social project will be evaluated. So basically, the selection criteria for the scholarship is that the applicant should be somebody who is in need of assistance and then should be eligible based on their performance or their grades and then their performance during the interview. And the last one is worthy of assistance. That is somebody whose involvement in NGOs and social organizations suggests that they are going to be able to achieve the aims of the scholarship program. Now let's go down to the selection process. So the first one is during the first phase of the selection process, the letter of recommendation from the applicants are carefully reviewed. A decision is then made as to whether applicants will be granted access to the application portal. The link will be shared via email. So in the first phase, they are going to check the letter of recommendation from your NGO or your social organization. And if you're able to pass that, then they will grant you access to the application portal. And the link is going to be sent to you via email. During the second phase of selection process, the application form, the applicant's grades and financial situation are carefully reviewed. So this is for the second phase. Then the third phase of the selection process, an interview or video conference is conducted with candidates who, after examining their application documents, have been deemed suitable for the scholarship program. So after you pass the second phase, they are going to reach out and conduct an interview or video conference. The interview may include a practical task and discussion of the details of the planned community/social project, including objectives and timetable for the first 6 months. then the final selection is made. So after the interview, they are going to make their final selection. Now let's go down and check the duration of the scholarship. We've already checked the scholarship benefits. So it says the duration of funding is at least 30 days up to a maximum of 48 months. The respective standard period of study is decisive. Funding is granted on a periodic basis, usually for the upcoming semester. So it says the duration of funding is at least 30 days up to a maximum of 48 months. So it means that if your program is an undergraduate program, that is 48 months. If it's a master's program and it's a 1-year program, it's 12. If it's a 2-year program, it's 24. So this is the application process. The first one is you read the guidelines. That is what we went through, but you have to go through it because there is more information there. The second thing is you submit a letter of recommendation or motivation. Then third one is review of the letter by SBW Berlin. That is your recommendation letter. Then the fourth one is outstanding applicants receive a link to the application portal. 5 is submit your application and additional documents. And the sixth part is the interview. If you're able to go through all this, it means that you've been successful in your application and then you're going to receive your scholarship. Don't forget that you have to apply to a bachelor's program or a master's program in a university in Berlin or Potsdam before you can make your application. In my next video, I'm going to go through a step-by-step tutorial on how to apply to universities in Germany, specifically in Berlin, so please watch out for it. This is the end of our video. I hope it's been helpful, and if it has, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment to help support my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.